Oh, you used the same image?
No. I took a picture of my face. But now I can do it on landscape.
And we have 0 following, so now.
Oh, there's one. CTK's there.
Thanks, CTK, for coming back, man. Sorry about that. When we started that other live feed, for whatever reason, it, no matter what we did, it wouldn't let us go back to a landscape, which makes the video like really small. So hopefully everybody else follows you over.
We got 2 now.
I'm too quiet. Yeah, you know, some people have that complaint. I do an audio when we start, and on a separate phone from what we're recording on, the audio's good here. I've had other people come over and check their audio, and it's fine. So I'm not sure where that technical issue is.
Oh no, like the mic isn't picking you up.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at.
The microphone's still there.
It's connected.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Banana Lester Killer Blast. Yeah, that'll be a good pairing. This was a pastel banana to a pastel clown. So theoretically, the best I can do is a super pastel banana. That's the whole clutch will be het for clown. Good afternoon, Brandon.
Hold on yourself for a second.
I don't know. What do you guys think? One of my Tinley kind of pickups there. Picked this thing up at the auction. Something. What time you got?
3:52.
All right, so back to what you were getting at, Brandon. We just signed in with another iPad, and the audio is pretty good on there. It's picking me up pretty good. So again, we've had that issue for like the past 3 or 4 live streams, and I'm not sure why it's doing that. Where some people are having issues and other people have no audio issues at all.
That's 7 minutes.
All right, thanks for coming back, Jason. I appreciate it. For whatever reason, when we started that other live stream, it locked into the horizontal, and even though we kept going back into it, it wouldn't release that. So we started a new one, and now it's obviously a bigger picture. So this is just our strip, everything we put on our container. So this was clutch 9, pastel banana to pastel clown. She laid on 830. It was due to cut on 1024, but I got 4 out of 5 eggs that have already pipped, and 2 of the snakes are out. So we had 5 eggs, no duds, and this was a first year female. You guys get a little peek started seeing you're here. So we can see we got at least 2 bananas. This one is at least pastel. The head really kind of looks super, but this one is definitely a super pastel. So there's a little bit of difference. So that's probably a pastel, super pastel, and we have the one unknown
It just started getting chilly up here.
Yeah, we're like 50 or so during the day and down in the 30s at night. And we've got 2 locks into the season so far, so we're just kind of getting going. And both of those locks are really just kind of test locks, meaning that, you know, these will be first year boys, and I wanted to see if they knew what they were doing or not. So we kind of threw them in with the girls that were ready, and lo and behold, they got it figured out quick. Hey, what's going on, Balls by Choice?
The red stripe and
Yeah, so the test lock was a pastel red stripe yellow belly to the pastel clown, and then the other one is a super pastel het desert ghost girl to a firefly leopard het desert ghost. So if those 2 carry through to next season, those will be some, you know, some really killer animals.
yeah.
I actually saw, it caught my eye. I was like, I was going to be all over it. I saw a pastel red striped yellow belly het clown, $3,500.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it is a good feeling because they're. I mean, the males are. You know, one was like 700 grams, and then the other one's a proven male, so I didn't have to worry about that. But I just wanted to see if the girl was willing to accept him, and apparently she is. So
Yeah, we tossed our het puzzles together. I haven't taken a look at them.
they were laying near each other this morning, so I mean he was kind of laying on top of her a little bit, but
How,
so that's always good. That shows good stuff.
how about the black pin? Is there any action down there?
They kind of had their tails next to each other, but they weren't locked. But so that one looked good. Yeah, I really like a lot of the magma stuff, and even without the clown in it, Red Stripe does some cool things. And you just got to learn to get an eye for the single gene, you know. And I just been looking at them so long, it just kind of happens. You know what I mean?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. I'm gonna start gloving up here.
Yeah, this one here keeps playing peekaboo.
Yeah, it wants to come out. So the pastel banana that I have is a female. So the bananas can be either male or female, and the rest of the clutch as well. So at least I assume that's the way I understand the sex link stuff to work. If one of the bananas is a male from a female, it will be a female maker. And if you produce a male from a male banana, it'll be a male maker. So if it's a girl, she can produce both. You haven't missed anything yet, LKB. These guys just kind of come out on their own. And if this happens to be a boy, every banana that he produces will be a girl. So that'll be kind of neat to have, you know, a female making male that's banana het clown or pastel banana het clown in the collection, so to speak. What do you got there?
2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. I have one clown male, and it's a pastel clown male. I don't have any I don't have any other males at all in my clown project. So it'd be nice to get a you know, another male to kind of work around in some of these girls, especially as some of the other different combos, you know, or the girls with the hets and the visuals that I have start to, you know, kind of come of age to breed. So we can start with this one.
Yeah, we're working with Orange Dream. We have a OD Fire male that we bred this year.
So this is just looks like a regular banana. Doesn't appear to have any pastel or anything like that in it. But I mean, really nice oranges. I mean, I look at it and I almost want to say yellow belly with some of these orange flames, but there's no yellow belly in the mix. And we'll show you this one here before I get into the other ones. So really nice heads, you know, blushed out head. It's got some decent blushing on the side if he'll cooperate a little bit. See some of that pattern, just looks really cool. Lots of good yellow, lots of good like orange, peach colors on the sides. Oh wow, that's quite a mouthful there. Butter, dragonfly clowns.
Mike is in and out.
Is that you? Are you covering it with your hand?
Mm.
So I'll put those down there. I'm really interested to see this one because this one looks super pastel. I'm gonna. Awesome. Good looking. So there's that head.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure this one's ready to come out too. It had its like 2/3 of its body out the egg. And then it went back in. A lot of good blushing there on the sides.
That almost looks kind of like
Almost Punisher.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that.
As it disappears.
Yeah, I'm making it worse. There's that head. And you can see where that head is just like drastically different than the other one over here. So I think that's just a really good looking pastel, and this is a super pastel that are 100% het for clown.
It's probably his shirt covering.
Hmm?
It's probably his shirt covering up the microphone. That's why it's probably going in and out. Nope, my shirt ain't anywhere near the.
No, we don't. I don't use a lapel mic. We're just using the mic right off the phone.
Could be because my phone is a few years old. Maybe the stuff's all dirty. Thinking about probably next season using the iPad to do the videos.
Either the iPad or we're gonna use the actual Canon.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's really orange. I don't know if you can see that. That's coming through pretty good. What's going on, Chris? Yeah, that looks awesome. And there's like I mean, this one looks like good, but there are some serious orange differences going on there. So this one may be pastel, even though the head really doesn't look pastel-like. What's going on, James? 2 snakes were out of the egg. This one here, we just cut the top off of that, was pipping. This one was pipping, and that's the only egg that hasn't come through. And it's still pretty taut. We'll see what it does, but this one has just got a really high, insane amount of...
I know, I'm going in front of the camera.
Yeah, we just took his case off the phone, so hopefully that helps a little bit. But nice looking banana, a lot of good color, good purple. Alright, this
So
one
then-
is still pretty taut.
The one egg that didn't pip.
Yeah, so like this one was taut until it pipped, and then there was another one over here, which was, I think it was this one, was pretty taut until it pipped. So this is not a banana, and it still has some egg yolk in there.
Pairing was a pastel banana to a pastel clown.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with that too much, but
Yeah, still
That one's really wackadoo. Look at that. That whole
side, yeah.
almost like tri-stripe kind of shape thing going on looks weird. Yeah, that's alive. It looks good. So that is our last clutch. Did you answer, Chris? It was a pastel banana to a pastel clown. So everything here is 100% het for clown. Looks like we have a pastel, a super pastel. I'm gonna say pastel banana, a regular banana, and that looks at least pastel, but got some really strange patterns for just a pastel. Or even if it were a super pastel, I've not seen like all those alien heads like run together like that. That's wild.
Chris is saying he's gonna pick up one of the bananas if you don't hold any of them back.
Yeah, I've got to sex them and see what I have. If I have two females, I will probably keep one and sell one. If I have two males, I will keep one and sell one. If I have a male and a female, I'll probably end up keeping them both. I don't know. So we'll see. I just got to get them out of the egg and stuff, and really try to figure out what the difference is, because the orange on this one is
It's
just
more
like
intense.
way off the chart, and the purple is way more purple than the other one. And the female that I have is a pastel banana, and her head stamp looks different than this one, and this is the lighter one. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but yeah, I'll definitely keep you in mind there, Chris. If I don't have one available. Yeah. Yeah. So this is well, it's kind of like one of those bittersweet things when like there's no more Christmas for another like 8 months.
Yeah.
This is usually so cool. This is the first time I've hatched bananas. Like a lot of what we're doing is our first go around. I don't think there's really any combos that we did this year that we did last year.
Mm.
So most of the pairings are all, again, brand new for us going forward. Although some of the product, some of the animals that you produce end up being, similar or the same when the combos hit, like super pastels or different things like that. But for us, we've never produced bananas before, so this is kind of a cool treat, to finish the season on, for sure. And I do like how intense the pastel and the super pastel are in this clutch. Yeah, I mean, and some of these guys are, they kind of keep their, their rooms at like at 84 degrees, and they just, so their ambient's 84, and they just breed all year round. I haven't done that, so I think for us, we've always done a temp drop and things like that. So, we're getting to the point where we're gonna have to, drop the hot spot down again here in a little bit and kind of start all over.
How long term are we looking to do super pastel clowns?
So long term, yeah. I mean, that was kind of the plan. I was hoping to get like a super pastel banana that was het for clown, but I mean, I'm not unhappy to not hit like a pastel banana. I mean, I like, if that's the difference, and this has got way more color and contrast, I kind of like to see what that does without the pastel in it. And honestly, we have so much pastel in a lot of stuff, it'll be kind of good to keep some of the stuff back that doesn't have pastel. So you do it, yeah, ZTK, you do the ambient of 82, 84. I mean, I could plug in a heater and I could try to do that, but I don't know.
Yeah, because right now we sit about 75. That's what we said.
Yeah, we run
Okay.
about 75, 75 to 78. I don't know, and in the middle of summer, I'm probably up in the middle 80s. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's such a night and day difference um, after most of the snakes shed, from when they come out of the egg until they shed. That like their colors are really, they just like amplify. They almost go up. Seems like about 40%, 50% in color.
Yeah.
So that just I look at this now, and that first shed, that banana is going to be like off the chain. So, and this one is just more dull, more subdued purples, and oranges are more subdued, and it seems to have, at least from what I can see, in with the other one in the egg, this one seems to have some blushing and some like aberrant orange spots in the pattern. So I have a good feeling that's probably a pastel banana. Um, and this one I think is just a straight banana. But like you said, Brandon, they're gonna have to shed and get out of there before I'll really know. Oh, hypo bananas. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely was a good season. That's for sure. For the most part.
Yeah, ZTK. It was. This year was definitely an epic year for us. Between like all the combos, like even this is a great clutch. I'm happy with this. The only disappointing factor I have is my clown clutch, and it's not because I didn't hit clowns. Um, I have no problems if I'm not hitting odds. This is the second year with that girl that's supposed to be 100% het clown, and being paired to a visual. I mean, theoretically, you're supposed to have about half a clutch or a 50% chance on each egg to hit a visual clown. Over the 2 years, I've got 12 eggs and I have 0 visuals. So my whole somber mood after all those were cut was really because I'm starting to think that she's not het clown. Is there a remote chance that maybe I just haven't hit the odds? I guess it's possible, but it's just extremely frustrating, putting a visual to a het and not get any visuals. And to be honest, there are some genes in the mix, but not a ton. Yeah, the email is info at ectothermic dungeon. Here, I think I can.
I typed it in. It didn't go in.
Yeah, just bear with me.
Yeah, it gave me an issue. It was like it graded out.
Yeah, that came out a little funky, but thanks, LKB. Appreciate that, man. Truly do. Um, so my Tinley video, most of my Tinley videos are done. I have. So if you guys follow Brian Cusco, he did post a portion of the uncut, the Cusco uncut. It was like 19 minutes of the roundtable that we all did. There was probably the group that you saw there was pretty much everybody that hung out all weekend. So there was like 16 to 18 of us. There was a couple guys missing, and then Dave Kaufman joined, and Brian Cusco joined us as well. I have access to Brian's full length footage. I went to download mine, and I've got to try to download my footage again, but it looks like either the files are corrupted or I had some kind of interference in the internet and they didn't download properly. So my goal is to put together the full length roundtable of all of us and then kind of get it out there on YouTube. There's some really good information for a lot of beginners. At the very end, we start talking a little bit about big mistakes or what we feel as a breeder was a mistake we made in the very beginning, getting started, that kind of thing. So I definitely want to kind of get that put together. There's not really going to be much editing. I'm just going to kind of slap it all together. I'd like to use my footage, so I've got to try that again, and then put that all together and just throw that out there for you guys. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at, Jason, is that, 12 eggs, at least one clown, even if it was just a clown. I'm not looking for crazy combos. I really wanted to prove her out, and I kind of have a feeling that she's not carrying the genes that she was sold to me as. So, I started communicating with that breeder like Wednesday of last week. They wanted a picture of her. I sent that to them on Thursday, and didn't hear from them on Friday or over the weekend to this point anyway. So I'll be following up with them again tomorrow and just kind of see where that goes. I mean, I don't know what the resolution would be. Ideally, I mean, my perfect resolution is for them to send me a proven het clown female with maybe a couple genes in it or something. I mean, I've put time and energy into this girl, a lot of food, a lot of clutches, and it's not producing what it was intended to produce. What's going on, Balls by JP? Welcome. I mean, you want to kind of go through here again, and maybe you can jabberjaw a little bit while I swallow.
While you
Clear my throat.
All right, so the pairing was a pastel banana to a pastel clown. And from what it looks like here, we got a banana. Just this really high orange colors in here, which are...
And Andrea, they could give me my money back, but to be honest, I'm just going to have to go shopping again anyway. Trust factor, I guess that's, another issue. It's a really, really big name. So at this point, I think it's just an error that was made. But I just prefer to have like a couple gene het clown female that's proven. So
Yeah.
she can show up, I'll quarantine her, and then off and running I go,
Right.
Yeah, Chris, man, me too. I'm really excited, especially about this one that's still in the egg, the amount of orange that's on there.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then we're thinking this one here is a pastel banana. This one, I don't know if we really said what we're thinking that is yet.
Well, it's
Probably-
definitely pastel.
That's
But
probably
like
about
you look at like that striping like that, it almost looks like something that like an extreme gene would do, or something that would be like het tri-stripe.
just something different.
And and I don't know. I mean, the pastel banana female came from Sean Bradley, and he's got tri-stripe stuff. So I mean, could that girl be a 50% het tri-stripe and just not been told? I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. Then that if I end up keeping this because I think that once it comes out of the egg, I mean, then that's just another animal I keep, because I do have some het tri-stripe stuff that we will be pairing not this season but next season.
Right. And we got a pastel. And then here we got a super pastel. Look at that head. That head is just crazy white.
Yeah, like white. Yeah, and Andrea, I don't think it's like out of the question that, I mean, this is a very large breeder, been around for a very, very long time. I don't think it's out of the question, and it's not going to hurt them at all just to kind of do that and to be done with the scenario.
What line of pastel? That we don't.
This here,
Yeah. Do you know?
the female was a pastel banana from Sean Bradley, and the male, which is the pastel clown, came from Eyeball.
So whatever line they're working
as
with.
far as I think the line of pastel from Sean goes back to Greg Graziani. The line that Eyeball has, I'm not really sure. I never really like investigate it. I've listened to enough podcasts with Sean to kind of have a general idea where some of his stuff came from. Yeah, I agree with you. We have the Graziani line in our Xanthic stuff, and so far it looks pretty good. You know, trying to figure out what the dark phase part of it is, but yeah, I mean, if I remember correctly, Graziani was the first person to bring in the pastel or found the pastel or whatever, or at least right in the beginning of that. So there's really good heritage with his line of stuff, and it's been around for a long, long time.
Gavin's jazz line.
Yeah, I talked to Gavin a lot this weekend at Tinley, and the jazz line, I don't know if it's considered a pastel, but the gene, because I don't think he's named it jazz because he named it after the girl that he got that started popping out the gene. And then he has a white cider gene that he's also working with, and he's put the two together, and it's a jazz white cider that just is, if you haven't seen it, it looks like some crazy calico fire yellow belly thing that's just like nuts. I mean, he's got a YouTube, he's got those videos on YouTube. All right, ZTK, thanks for stopping in, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, take care.
Sorry you got to work. But yeah, that's something pretty neat to go check out. His stuff. And Gavin is Balls to You, BALLS, the number 2, capital U. He's got a YouTube channel. He's over in England, and he's got some neat stuff going on over there. So definitely go give him a shout too, and you can check out that jazz line that LKB was talking about, and that white cider, which he's thinking is some type of a calico thing. But when he's put the two together, the snake looks like easily like a 4 gene or 5 gene snake. It's really impressive. You guys want to see what I picked up at Tinley? Yeah, yeah. All right, let me throw this.
Yes.
Yeah, let me throw this cover on.
So this.
Other side.
So here's a reptile Jim picked up from Tinley.
Yeah. All right. So girl number 1.
yeah, we don't have to feed that one.
I don't have to worry about temps either. So this girl, and would you know it? Like the first time I fed her, like I don't know, she got chewed on a little bit. But this is a leopard lavender albino 50% het pied. A $300. Yeah. Well, the problem. Yeah, the Tinley auction is a very dangerous place. You can easily get carried away in the moment and buy things you absolutely don't need.
And like looking at the video, because we have it up on the iPad also, watching it as we're filming it, like the color is so subdued in the video.
Yeah, you're seeing about 65 to 70% of what she really is, which we usually do a little bit better. You can usually get a better contrast, and it just may be leopard dreamsicles. No, this girl is the base of a project that's gonna take me like 5 years, and I'm just not ready to. I know.
Divulge.
Yeah, I'm not ready to go out there yet. I know. I've talked at length with Justin before I got this girl, and Justin's already working on it, so he'll probably beat me to it, but that's okay. I've
That's the one thing.
Video and picture usually never do. Yeah, that's by far 100% accurate. I've got many customers that I'll send pictures to, and most of the time somebody buys something from me, I try hard to shoot a video clip and send them a video of their animals too. If depending on how quickly things go, maybe some feed videos if I can. But one of the most common themes is like, holy cow, they look so much better than any of the pictures or video you sent. And yeah, it's really difficult to get accurate depiction. So with that said, you will look at that first video that has Ozzy in it, and those are all his holdback animals that he was just like not for sale, showing off like kind of the stuff you can do. And in that video, they're just electric. They're like insane. It's unreal. And so then just imagine adding another 20% to that, and that's what they would look like in real life.
Glad to hear that they're doing well, LKB.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's what I like too. Is I don't know that I do things really any different, but most of our animals, when they get somewhere, they eat right away and they tend to do really well. So, at least that's some of the feedback we get. So that again, it makes us exciting.
Planes, if you don't mind. Oh yeah, we would love to talk with you for a bit.
Yeah, no worries. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, that's
my part of a breeder isn't just to sell snakes. I feel that, granted, I've been only in this for 5 years. This is our 3rd year of production, but I don't know if it's because of what I've tried to do or just been lucky, but I'm in a circle of guys that have a lot of experience with, talking with Miguel about purchasing, talking with Gavin about pairings and industry stuff. So there's information that, I feel that I have that I'm willing to share. So it's not always about, oh, here's an animal, now let me have your money, now go away. It's building projects and, whether this male fits better into the collection or maybe a female of something else. And if I don't have it, I have access to a bunch of friends that are also breeders that may have exactly what would fit better for what you're looking for. So with that said, I'm going to put her away, and we'll grab the other one.
Yeah, that's one of the things when we go to the shows. We we're there to bring reptiles there, sell stuff, but we really love the interaction with not even you don't even have to be a customer, just people coming up and talking to us at the table. It's awesome.
So what did Andrea say here? So she said,
can't wait until the OD Super Stripe Het Pied girl grows up for me. She will go great with the leopard pastel yellow belly pus. Het Pied. That's a lot going on there.
Yeah, that's going to be a killer combo right there,
Yeah.
Andrea. Holy cow. How is that pastel leopard yellow belly doing? And I don't know if you know or not, but the father to that pairing has proved out to be Het Pied, so that makes that boy a 66%er instead of a 50. So just something a little bit better on your behalf there for that pairing. Yeah, we've had 2 OD clutches this year, so I've got quite a bit of animals that we're going to have that are going to be available. They've all had like 2 males, 3 males, so pretty soon. I mean, that's the OD stuff is coming.
KB just joined.
Skips meals? Oh, sorry.
What's up, KB? Reptiles.
So this is pickup number 2. This is a female that I won in an auction.
Yeah, you probably see the heat coming off of that phone.
This girl was labeled as a Mackenzie.
But then the shocker.
She shed on the way home and was brighter than any Mackenzie, just single gene Mackenzie that I've seen.
And then she's got this.
And then yeah, and then I started looking more between her color and the head stamp. I've run it by a few other people, and the mutual feeling is that she's a fire Mackenzie.
Which Jim really.
Yeah, we did
made
very,
out.
very well in the auction, winning this girl. So, again, that's kind of theoretical.
Well,
That
until we prove her out.
yeah, until she gets big and starts making some babies. Yeah, I will make sure that there is fire in the mix when I pair with her, just to see if I can prove that out. Yeah, and before you go, Andrea, I'm gonna pull the brother to yours out and let you see what he's like. All right, so here you go. So this is the brother. This is a pastel leopard yellow belly that I produced last year. This guy is 874 grams. Um, I wouldn't say he eats every time either, but he eats most times. He doesn't like to eat in shed, so he'll almost never eat when he's in shed. But he's done fairly well, and looks good, and I've got him lined up for 3 girls this coming season. 400 grams, wow.
What do you What is
KB, what's going on?
what's he eating?
Thanks for signing in. I just love this dude. I love how crazy this pattern is. It's just like totally off the chain. Thanks, KB. Appreciate that. Rat weanlings. Yeah, and this guy's a ratter too. He pretty much eats the same thing. He takes a little bit bigger. Like a smaller small rat, so not quite a weanling, but not quite what they would label it as a small. I could probably feed him smalls, but I don't know. I tend to, I don't know, feed my stuff a little bit smaller rodents, and unfortunately it kind of kills us because you just go through more rodents than you should.
Right. Yeah, it's a pastel leopard.
Yeah, pastel leopard yellow belly. Came from the ivory het pied female that produced Minnie to a pastel leopard het pied male. And at the time of the pairing, the ivory was, a 66 percenter, and so now she's proved out. So, het to het, any of the non-visual pieds are 66s. So that pairing from last year makes the animals like the one Andrea has, a 66 percenter.
We're pulling out leopard stuff.
Yeah, there was 3 of these guys in that clutch. I kept this one. You got one. Somebody else bought one, and then there was a leopard yellow belly in there too that I sold, and I'm still in contact with those guys. Thanks, KB. I appreciate that. We got a couple different lines of leopard. This is the one we really want to start working into a lot of our stuff with this crazy pattern. We do have stuff that's a little more subdued in pattern, and both of those, I've sold the one that's subdued, the breeder male, but they've both fathered, like done a dual sire clutch, and you could just look at the leopard pattern and say, oh, that from this one, that from that one.
Yep.
It's kind of crazy.
So while we're on the leopard subject, this here is a black pastel leopard that hatched 4 or 5 weeks ago. Actually, a month now. And this one's got a little bit of a running away here. A little bit of a ringer going on back here. So we're somewhat confident this one should prove out to be pied.
Everybody likes to see this one too. So
Oh, the Cypress.
let's throw this one out here, the Cypress Mojave.
Whoa, where you going, girl? They're all starting to run away.
Yeah. I guess we can just put this one.
Oh,
This is the other one. This one that everybody always asks to see. She needs a little bath. She's got some
Hey, where you going? Get back here.
stuff on her head.
Why is everybody wanting to run off as soon as they sit down here?
I don't like these today.
All antsy. I'm not liking the wool cloth.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Jim is not willing to part with her.
Yeah. I mean, who are you gonna trade her for? I mean, what do I get? What do I get in trade, KB? Yeah, I mean, usually I'm looking at the video and like the yellows, just even on the video, are just like crazy nuts. Yeah, that's that seems to be the the question in hand, Andrea, is that what she's gonna look like at a couple thousand grams. I can tell you this: her yellows have only gotten better. The purples have held so far. So I'm hoping that she at least holds on to it for a little bit. Oh, for photos, I get photos. Nice. Yeah, well, knowing Miguel, he'll flip the camera around somehow and take pictures of something else, and then I won't even have photos.
This is Minnie.
Yep. To my knowledge, it's she's a world's first. This is a pastel inchy leopard ivory, 66% het pied, and everybody that I talk to that's looked at her and seen her is about 100% that she'll prove pied, just based on her the amount of color expression and everything else. But when you roll her over to look at her belly, I mean, there's no pattern left down there to look for tracks or anything like that. But
Yeah, no, we weren't at, we didn't do the Long Island show. We do that one kind of once in a blue moon.
yeah, here and there I go down there. Surprisingly, I'm told it's a snake show, and everybody that goes down there loves it. They always do well. I don't know if it's just where they put me. I just never seem to do that well down there. Thanks, KB. I truly appreciate it, man. she is definitely one of my favorites, that's for sure. And she's doing phenomenal too, growing. She's, the better part of 200 and change grams.
Yeah, White Plains is much bigger. We are in
The annex room.
yep, so we're in the little side room. Uh, but you kind of get a little bit more, it's a little quieter in there, kind of, compared to the main floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the email pop through. We just haven't had a chance to look because we're on our phones.
On stage, I don't know if I want to go up there. I wouldn't mind being down on the main floor. But that stage is, kind of Outback Reptiles kind of has the whole front of that monopolated. Is that a word?
Monopulated.
Monopolated.
Monopolied. Monopolized.
And I wouldn't mind being down on the main floor, but I'm okay where we're at too. We've done well back there.
Yep.
People are starting to get to know where we're at back there, so
Yeah, supposedly.
Monopolated.
So supposedly next November they're supposed to have like a.
Wi-Fi you're on. There we go. All right, KB, thanks for stopping in. I really appreciate it. Take care. Yeah, but like Chris, that's what everybody says, is everybody forgets about the annex and like nobody goes over there. So, I mean, there's decent amount of people that still make it through there, but it's not anything near what the regular show is.
Yeah, I always hear that the stage is always forgotten about.
Well, especially the whole back half. If you get stuck in one of the back corners or the back side of Outback Reptiles, just nobody goes up there.
Yeah, nobody really says anything about the stage. They always send reminders about the annex, but nothing about the stage.
And most people still don't make it back to the annex room. So, yeah, that's all right. We'll keep at it. Most of the time we're there just to, to meet people, talk to people, and, maybe later on down the road, if I sell stuff that day, I mean, it's nice to cover the table, but, we're not looking to, do big money sales. If it happens, it happens. It's about, what we enjoy is really that part that we were talking about before is
the interaction.
What do you have? Like, do you have questions? You're trying to build a project. Do I have stuff that'll fit? If not, then let's find you somebody that has stuff. It'll fit. If not, then let's find you somebody that has stuff. And the nice thing about knowing like Miguel, Beach Bum Exotics, State 48, knowing Eyeball. I've been to their shop a few times.
Gavin.
Well, Gavin's
overseas,
really
but yeah.
I mean, there's information access there, but even with Justin and some of the other breeders, that's the part that I truly enjoy, and I think is the part that is almost expected of me as a breeder, to make a difference of breeders. Like, there's a lot of people in the old school mentality. Really, I mean, is they'll sell you a snake, but like trying to get a hold of people and ask detailed questions and get answers in a timely manner and stuff is sometimes frustrating. And you just know it is with me.
Yeah, we appreciate that, James. This show will actually be, I think, the most snakes that we've brought with us.
Yeah, I actually went and I borrowed a display case because I didn't have enough. So we should be in the neighborhood of like 35 to 40 animals, which is not a lot of snakes. I mean, you look at some of those tables, and they have stacks and stacks of ball pythons, and big ones at that. So
yeah, no boas yet. I'm actually putting the mail to our female today.
James is getting a lag. He feels like he's watching a Japanese movie, old martial arts film.
Oh. Refresh.
Boas, we're starting the first chance at pairing tonight. So with boas, they can be finicky, and with the female being almost twice the size of the male, you kind of have to like hold her proverbial hand when you first introduce them to see if they're, you know, if she's going to accept them and not, you know, turn them into food. So that's going to happen this evening, and hopefully, next spring we might even have
A few boas.
some boas on the ground, which would be really cool.
Yeah, that pairing is a the male is call albino, the female is a
He's a hypo albino, right? Or
no,
he's just albino?
he's just straight albino.
And
Yep.
she's a super
Or
possible super lipstick sun glow.
Yep.
So it should be. I mean, at least all albinos. It should be a pretty decent pairing. Nice. Yeah, I mean we only have the two right now. Boa wise, I really want like an IMG albino, and they're just got a really big price tag. With the ball pythons and trying to build certain projects, at least because we're so new in the beginning and I can't produce everything that I want yet. I'm trying to stay tunnel focused on the ball python projects, and then once I kind of get those things built to where they'll produce the stuff that I want or going in the direction I want, then I think we'll probably go IMG shopping.
Unfortunately, Mo, we can't. I have those at my place, but maybe we'll do another video and we can bring them over and we'll shoot a video on them.
Yeah.
I think we actually have. Didn't we do a video before on them?
I don't think so, man.
No. So yeah, I'll bring them over.
It's definitely something that's due. And maybe we'll plan another live stream, and we can bring them over and we can do that.
We did do a video on them because I was worried about him striking because the male is kind of a.
I don't even know what the name of it is.
We'd have to go back and look. And for display cases, we do ARS. It actually turned out the display cases are great quality, and price wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, I mean they were like $385, but there's some newer ones now where they're like cheaper. They're like $285-ish or whatever. But there's a huge difference in construction of not so much the display cases. The display cases themselves are pretty good, but like the carrying case, the one that the ARS, is it ARS? It is
yeah,
ARS. The ARS come in is a really heavy duty travel case. It's got like steel corners and steel guards along all the edges. It's just really herky. I mean, not that you would throw it around, but in traveling it gets knocked around and stuff. There's no way you're really going to damage that thing. And what's different with their case, at least that I've noticed, is all their insulation to protect the travel cases is all fixed inside the case. So it's not stuff that you have to keep track of and keep putting it in and out. So it's pretty thick. It's all in there. I don't know. I really like them. They're more money than some of the other stuff on the market. But after seeing some of the other stuff, I'm going to stick with ARS.
Yeah, I do have a Facebook page. It's my name, Matthew Thomas, and then the subheading on there is Ectothermic Dungeon. When do you think is the... Well, what's the question, Mo?
James, we can take a look and see, what you have for a 3-tier, and kind of go from there. To be honest, planning to buy one from ARS. Ours has the black and clear sides, so I would probably be looking to buy something that matches, because I'm just anal that way. Although we've been talking about trying to custom make like a cloth cover that'll just sit right over the case stand.
Tier portion of it, yep.
Yep, and then the actual display cases will sit on the cover, and then I can put the heat tape and everything right underneath. so if I do something like that, then the case itself isn't going to matter, but like the displays kind of would. But I don't know, we can worry about that when I get there.
Did you guys get a good look at Aussie Boy's display cases? They seem different than everyone else's. Jim did, definitely.
I definitely did.
I got to see it in the video.
His cases are kind of like it's almost like a trough, and then the white containers that each animal sits in is the container that they travel in. So they have tops that they just like pop on them. So it's a pretty cool design. Although when you open the lid on like 4 or 5 animals. And when you're trying to show those animals off, the other ones are
I'm trying to run
they're
off.
all taken off. But it was definitely different and neat in the way that they are stark white, so the animals show off really, really nice in there. All right, cool. Then I'll definitely swing by. We'll check it out and then kind of go from there. Yeah, sure enough, Brandon. Yeah, and like I spent that first video, Tinley video we did, I didn't really edit anything I got from Ozzy. I mean, I was trying to kind of prod information about, to get like a look inside his brain and what he's looking at to do with like his stuff and things like that. And what was nice is he has seen her, so we talked a little bit about Minnie and next steps and what he would do and that kind of thing, which is kind of right in line of what I would do or I was planning to do. So it's just a confirmation of going in the right direction for sure.
Our table, where
Not us. That's at James.
oh, yeah, other James. I see James. I'm thinking you.
Yeah, no, he's talking to
James.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up for us. So unless you guys have questions or something else you want to see, that's going to be a Sunday for us. Oh, you're very welcome, Brandon. And again, I have to apologize because I'm not, like, this is easy for me. I can do this all day long, and as you guys can see, I have no problem talking. I can jabberjaw all day long, especially about snakes, and I can set stuff up, and we can do our videos here, and I edit them down. Vlogging is just not my forte. It's uncomfortable for me. So even trying to get in front of Ozzy and Justin and things like that was very, very, very difficult. And you can kind of see by the first video, there's almost no other vlogging, like videos of other people and things that are going on around us. The second video, though, that by the second day, I was getting a little more comfortable, and the vlogging thing started to come along. I will definitely have some GHI stuff, James. Don't you worry.
And as you can tell, Jim has no problem talking in front of the camera. I'm getting there.
Matt, take the camera when where it shows, and he can point it at his face and run around. Maybe that's his thing. So he can do that, and I'll do this.
Yeah, it's kind of weird holding a camera up in public and sitting there talking. And you get people like looking at you going, "What are you doing?"
Thanks, LKB. I appreciate it. Yeah, well, Andrea, I know you have a phone. So KB Reptiles was on here earlier. If you don't follow them, they're our Canadian neighbors. I met them at Tinley. They are great people. Barros and Carrie. They currently do all their videos and all their vlogging on a phone. I don't know if it's an Android or an iPhone, but they do it all on there. It's all edited on there, I think. I'm not sure where she edits. But when I first started, I didn't have a camera. I was using my phone, and my iMac is so old that it won't even keep up with the videos. I was editing on a phone. I've upgraded. I now edit everything on an iPad, which drives me insane. Bug. So we're hoping soon to get a newer iMac or something like that, and then I can really start upping the editing power and the editing game on the videos. Yeah, that's my thing. You know, I just feel weird. I feel like everybody's looking at me. But then when I put the camera down, I look around, like everybody's, not everybody, but a lot of people are, you know, vlogging and doing things now. And not so much at White Plains, but like you go to Tinley, there's a ton of people running around with cameras and vlogging and doing stuff. So
$10 Go phone to buy minutes for it.
well,
Yeah, that kind of
okay,
makes it open.
that may be a struggle. So you win that one. Andrea. I get that one. I get that one to you. Yeah. So I don't know. That's the plan. Is to I've got one more purchase I'm trying to work out this year for a female, and then a good portion of next year is going to be equipment. We're going to need another 50-40 rack. We're going to need some hatchling racks. I started to talk to Chris at Sea Serpents about, you know, hatchling rack stuff, and then probably have to buy or work out a deal for a display case. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I think that's it for us today. Everybody, thank you very much for taking the time out of your Sunday and your weekend to spend a few minutes with us. I hope everybody's remainder of their breeding season goes well and that you're off to a great start for your next one. Good luck, God bless, and peace.
Y'all take care.
Take care.